Hello, Schroon Lake Central School.
Hello.
I'm Phil Armstrong.
I'm Randy Jacobson.
And we're going to do Fire Prevention Day via video. So first thing we're going to cover is stop, drop, and roll. So I'm sure all of you have already experienced and done some classroom training at school with stop, drop, and roll. So we're just going to do some quick demonstration. So if for some reason your clothes were ever on fire, stop what you're doing, get on the ground, cover your face with your hands, and roll back and forth like Randy's demonstrating. Nice job, Mr. Randy. If the fire is out, hopefully somebody else is there. They can tell you, yep, the fire's out, and you're all set to go. All right, now we're going to talk about smoke detectors. Smoke detectors should be in every home. Every one of you should have smoke detectors at home. All smoke detectors are not the same. Some smoke detectors have
Batteries that last for 10 years and some need to be changed or checked at least twice a year.
Whether you're checking the batteries in your smoke detector every
Daylight savings time is probably the best.
well, and twice a year,
Right,
you want
so
to
you
at least test your smoke detectors and make sure they're functioning twice a year.
Absolutely.
And Randy's saying daylight savings time is the best time for that because we run into daylight savings time twice a year. Once in the fall,
Right.
once in the spring. So on daylight savings time, you should always go around and check all your smoke detectors and make sure they're working and functioning properly. If for some reason you're having trouble, change the batteries. If for some reason you have a problem with the detector itself, change the detector. If you ever have a problem or need help with that, come on over here to the fire department and talk to us. We'll help you out.
Absolutely.
So now we're going to talk about evacuation plan and evacuation route and the best way to get out of your home and how you need to make sure you have a plan in place to meet up with your family once you evacuate your home.
Absolutely. It's very important to have a meeting place pre-planned where you're going to meet your parents outside of the home in case there is ever a fire in your house.
That's right. And once you execute your evacuation plan, you get out of the house. It is very important that you never, ever, ever do what, Randy?
You never hide.
Never, ever hide.
Never hide.
You can't hide. If you hide, then nobody knows where you are and we can't account for you. We might go into the house looking for you and you might be hiding outside. Regardless of how scared you are, never, ever hide.
If we call out to you, if there's something happens, you need to call and let us know that you're there so we can come and help you if we need to take you out.
So part of your evacuation plan, and a big part of this, is you need to work out with your parents the best way for you to get out of your home, the safe place for you to meet outside your home, so you can go there and they can find you there. The best way to get out of your home, let's say you're in your bedroom, you wake up in the night and you smell smoke, and you need to get out of your room. What's the first thing you do? Well,
We're gonna go.
the first thing you do is get on your hands and knees because if there's smoke in the room, you don't want to be in the smoke. You go to your door. We got to check the door. So what's the first thing we do? We touch the door with the back of your hand, not the front of your hand. Why do you not touch the door with the front of your hand, Mr. Randy?
Because you don't want to burn your hand, and the muscles in your hand you'll still be able to use.
That's right. So if you need to use your hands to open a door and your hand is burned because you touched it on the door and burned your hand, you won't be able to open a door. You need your hands to work. So if you're feeling for if it's warm, use the back of your hand to feel if it's warm. If that door is warm or the doorknob is warm,
Yep.
you don't want to go out the door. Now, the first thing you want to do before you leave the door is make sure that smoke can't get into the room. The best way to do that is just like Mr. Randy's doing. He found some clothes that are laying on the floor. He's going to take those clothes and he's going to cram them right underneath that door so smoke can't come under the door and into your room. This is going to help keep you safe and give you some more time to use your secondary exit. Every room should have a secondary exit. That's most of the time a window. If you have a two-story house, you need to work out a plan with your parents to make sure that you have an exit out of that second-story window. Get to the window, work out with your parents how the window opens and closes. If it's got a screen, how the screen comes out and goes back in, so that you have an actual plan, that you know how to work, how to get out that window so you can execute your evacuation plan and you can go to your meeting spot to meet your parents.
Absolutely.
All right, now we're going to talk about fire gear and the tools and everything that we would use to come in and do a rescue if we were to come to your house. if we were to come to your house, we would come with a fire truck and plenty of people and lots of water and lots of hose and fire nozzles.
Big hose.
Big hose, lots of, and small hose.
That's true.
There would be lots of hose. So the things that you would see specifically if we were to come into your house were some very specific tools. We have a pair of boots and a pair of pants, and we make sure that we wrap our pants right down around our boots so that we can jump into them and pull them right up and throw the suspenders on.
Absolutely.
It's a quick way to put your pants on. You should try that at home. And then we have a set of irons, and that's what we call this. This is a fireman's axe and a Halligan bar. A Halligan bar has a bunch of different tools all built into it. It's a pry bar. It's used for taking roofs apart, for helping us propel out of windows. It does a lot of things for us.
Absolutely.
But the axe and the Halligan bar together is called a set of irons. And anytime a fireman or a team of firemen go into a house, they would always take a set of irons. We also have a jacket that goes over top of his pants, a Nomex hood. That's what that is right there. It's a fire-rated hood that helps protect your ears and neck and head and hair. A nice set of fireproof gloves. We have the helmet and a mask, an SCBA mask. And to go with the SCBA mask is the SCBA. SCBA stands for Self-Contained Breathing Apparatus. That's our fire gear. So now we're going to talk about Mr. Randy's gear. You saw him get dressed. You saw him how he puts it on. He's got his air pack. He's got his breathing air. You can hear that. He's got his mask on. You saw his Nomex hood. It's right to the mask to protect his face. So there's no hair, skin, ears, nothing showing. It's all protected. He's got his gloves on. Jacket comes down right over his gloves, protects his wrist. He's got his hip belt on. He's got a set of tags. He's got a red tag, a green tag, and a yellow tag. Tags are all for different things. Red tag goes on the truck, so the truck driver knows that Mr. Randy rides with him back to the firehouse. Yellow tag goes to the person at the entryway of a door if he ever has to go into a building burning, so that entryway person can make sure that he comes back out of the building. And the green tag always stays on Mr. Randy, so he has some identification, just like his tag in the back. So if anybody else sees him from behind, we always know that's Mr. Randy Jacobson. And all of this glows in the dark. So if we're ever in a dark environment, we'll be able to see that, and it'll tell us exactly who he is. And we also have flashlights, which he doesn't have on him at the moment, but he'll have a flashlight clipped to him, and he'll have this set of irons. Now, if Mr. Randy will stand still for a second, we'll talk about a pass alarm. What a pass alarm is an alarm that tells us if a fireman's ever in trouble. If he stands still too long, his air pack will sense that he is not moving. And because he's not moving, then he's got to be in trouble. At least that's what his air pack thinks. So his air pack starts alarming, saying, "You've been still too long. So I'm going to make noise, and lots of noise, so we know where to come find you, so we can come rescue you." There it is. Now we know Randy's officially in trouble. We got to go get him. So let's turn the pass alarm off. go.
Hey, Randy's okay.
Hey, we're all good. So, why don't you walk right up there and talk to them so they can hear exactly what you're saying and know what you sound like.
Now you need to not be afraid if you hear us coming for you. It sounds a little funny breathing, like Darth Vader. Luke, I am your father. But do not be afraid. Do not hide or anything else. The reason I'm bouncing is because we don't want to hear the beep. But don't be afraid. It's scary and it's noisy, but you cannot hide. If you call to us and we will come and get you.